everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure diorama review. Today, we're going to look at the Extreme Sets Warehouse Cardboard Pop-Up Diorama. This is a 1/12 scale diorama, and of course, it's of the interior of a warehouse, which sounds like it could be useful for a ton of different action figure scenarios. I printed this thing for the Extreme Sets website, and I've had it for quite a while, but it's time to finally open it up. So let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see at the front here, warehouse pop-up diorama. You can see the exterior of a building, and here's a little example of what it's going to look like on the inside. It's blank at the top. One side, warehouse pop-up diorama, 1/12 scale. There's a barcode, but I can't imagine that's going to be very useful for anybody. On the back side, Extreme Sets pop-up dioramas. So with no further ado, let's open it up. Alright, now that this diorama out of the package, here it is laid out in front of you, and there are an absolute ton of pieces. It even looks overwhelming at this point. We have a total of 5 different wall panels, 1 doorway arch, 2 pieces of doorways, 3 ground pieces, 6 rack platforms, and then different rack beams, short beams, tall beams, etc., etc. So this should make the interior of a warehouse, and it looks like it's going to be quite large and detailed. Where do you start when you have this many pieces? Well, I guess let's start off by assembling the different columns and the different racks, and then we'll see where that takes us next. So here are the parts to build what I believe are 2 different warehouse racks. There's a 3-tier rack, and there are 2 of them. We have 6 of the different tiers for the racks in the back, and then all the rest of this will sort of make the different legs. We've got small, medium, large, and then this white thing will go inside, up and down the entire thing. So on each one of these pieces, you're going to want to take them, and they're flattened out, as you can see. You're going to want to sort of spread them out into a box type shape, kind of like so. And that's a long piece. Then I'd guess this is perhaps the top. You'll fold it all in, assemble it. Now the best way to do this is to crease it as hard as you possibly can against the folds. Put it in there. Hope it stays together. Looks like it's going to do an okay job. Sometimes they don't really snag in the right way. Notice it's still a little bit not exactly square shaped. Just kind of work with it, push on it, make it as best you possibly can. And then we also have this smaller piece. It's the same sort of concept. Open up into the box. Not really sure how that's going to go. And then you want to take this. This is going to go up and down. So it's flattened up. Open it up. Sort of square shaped. And this is going to go up and down with these different things around it, covering up the white pieces in between the different rack tiers. So let's start off by adding the bottom legs and the bottom rack tier. Now I believe this is what it's supposed to look like so far. You have the large white beams, and then the very small bottom part of the outside of the beam, and then you'll take your rack and sort of slide it down with 4 of these on each rack. Going to slide all the way down to the bottom, giving you the bottom tier of the rack and the base of your racking. I believe this is how it should look at this point. We have the small little legs around the post, and then the bottom tier of the rack, 2 different individual bases, and then this is what it should look like next. We add some of the larger covers around the post here, and then we'll add the next tier of racking. At this point, the racking should look like this. We have the second tier, and then we'll add another 8 of these around there, and add the third tier of racking, thus leaving just the little cap for the post. And here are these 2 racking pieces, almost complete. We have the different 3 levels, but you can still see the white part of the post sticking out. So you take these sort of cap pieces, fold them in, tuck them in, and it should cover up the top nicely. Notice it's not 100% flush. It's a common issue with Extreme Sets. Not really a great solution besides maybe trying to glue it shut or something. Doesn't look all that good, and it's going to be like that permanently on the top. Wish there was a way to sort of tuck that in properly. So here are the two pieces of racking fully assembled. They look okay. They feel very sturdy, so at least you got that going for them. But there's definitely some quality control issues. As you can see, the glue on this one's already starting to come off. Some of them are not quite as flush as I'd like at the top. You can see the gap here. I can push it in as much as I want, but it's just not sort of interlocking with the other flaps there. And I can't get my finger inside to sort of force them to lock together. You can see similar issues up here. Not as bad, but not fully flush. And that's how they look right now. Imagine how they'll look 6 months from now. Similar issues here. You can see just not staying flush. I can push it down. Doesn't really help at all. Maybe I could glue it. I don't know. And then some of these things are not quite as straight as I'd like. The different sort of bolts on the side, not consistent. I don't know. It was a huge pain in the ass to put those together. And it works. It'll function for storage in a warehouse, etc. But it just could be a little crisper, tighter. Then we have these two pillars. And it's similar to the sort of cover of the big post. They're flattened out. Pop them forward into sort of a square shape. Fold it very sturdy against the creases. And then fold in the different tabs. And push it inside. This stays together a lot better than the other ones. Do that with both these guys, and you'll have your posts complete. And there you have it, the two posts. We've got brick at the base, brick along the side, and then some metal bolted onto the top. And they seem to stay flush a lot better than the smaller pieces. Now to assemble the doorway. We have a wall panel with the doorway arch, the actual doorway arch, and then two door pieces. We'll start off by taking the large wall in the back and the doorway and putting them together. You'll want to take this doorway arch piece and sort of fold it into itself. It's going to be something like this, and each piece here you'll want to crease along all the different sort of pre-made folds. And what you'll do is you'll flatten it out, and these tabs are going to insert into these little slots here, and it'll have pieces kind of like this, 3 of them being the doorway frame or arch. And then you'll take this piece, and those tabs here will connect into there, and you should have a nice door frame. Here's the door frame inserted into the wall piece. Kind of 3D, sticking out. We have the brick frame here. And now to add in the actual doors. And then here's the doors attached. We have the doors into the door frame inside the wall. Now the doors themselves will actually open and shut, but I imagine if I do that, it'll be very hard to get to be flush, so I don't really want to bend it, open and shut those doors. But it can be done. Still, it looks pretty freaking good the way it is right now. So now to assemble the wall pieces. There are 4 of them, plus the doorway. They can be assembled in any order you want, but I'm going to do them like the picture at the Extreme Sets website. So here are the wall pieces and the floor pieces fully assembled. This section has 5 wall pieces, and most of the Extreme Sets have 4 wall pieces, which is perfect for the size table I use. 5's a little too big, but it gives you a lot more play and display area. Now let's go ahead and enter in the racking and pillars. And then we have the pillars and the racking added in. Gives a little more personality and fills some of that empty space up. Now in the picture they showed a bunch of boxes and storage on the racking, and I thought we'd have some cardboard boxes to assemble, but to my surprise, we do not. I guess you have to provide your own. So let's see what I got. So I found some of my own props. I put different boxes, crates, barrels, pallet jacks, cinder blocks, etc. Could put a bunch more stuff in here, but for now, I'm content. An actual interior warehouse scene. Now to check out the measurements of this thing. Like I said, this is currently the largest it can be with 5 different wall pieces attached. Typically the Extreme Sets have 4 wall pieces, and that's a little more manageable. As it is right now, from one side to the other, standing at about 56.5 inches wide. And if I only had 4 of the wall pieces being utilized, it would be about 37 inches wide as far as how tall it is. About 16 inches tall. And as far as how deep it is from front to back, about 18.5 inches deep. Very large diorama. Takes up a lot of space. Personally, I prefer to have one section smaller, but it's customizable and interchangeable, so you most certainly can do that. Then to check out the action features. So, it has the doors, and they actually function. You can open and shut them, but I'm a little concerned about bending the cardboard, how it would look afterwards. Although as you can see, it's not exactly flush right now. We have some different various windows where your figures and characters can look both inside and outside of the warehouse. Of course, we have the storage racking system here with a bunch of crates on it. Crates that did not come with this diorama. There's another exit door on the back wall here, and once again it can open and shut, but I figure if I completely fold it open it'll never look flush like this again, so for now I'm going to enjoy it like so. And so now, let's get some action figures and some guys into this thing. When I heard about a warehouse diorama I thought, oh, this is fantastic. I can have all kind of thugs or henchmen here. I can have Batman beating everybody up. The police bursting in and stopping all kind of criminal drug trafficking activity, etc. Hell, it could be just a regular traditional warehouse with people working there. And hell, I can even pretend it's not a warehouse. It's a pretty good all-purpose diorama. Brick wall, concrete floor. I can put this to a lot of use. But some of the first things that came to mind: Ben Affleck Batman from the end of Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice, maybe some Black Mask henchmen, that type of stuff. Should be really cool, and I should get a lot of use out of this thing. Here's a look at the Fonjoy Batfleck, taking on a whole bunch of thugs and henchmen, similar to the warehouse scene at the end of Batman vs Superman. And here's both the Red Hood gang and Black Mask's gang making a deal. Drugs for money in this warehouse, inconspicuous in the old slums of Gotham. Red Hood, right around the corner, about to make his move and take them both down. Now let's check out this diorama with some action figures from different various companies, so you can see what kind of lines would fit in both scale and style-wise. Now this thing is huge. You could easily fit 6-inch figures, 7-inch figures, 8-inch figures, and hell, even bigger than that. So pretty much all the action figures that I collect are going to fit inside this diorama pretty nicely. I collect 6-inch and 7-inch stuff. Here's some Jakks Pacific, Diamond Select, and McFarlane toys in this diorama. And then here are some DC Direct, then Mattel and Jazzwares wrestling figures in the warehouse. Then, with some NECA, Mezco, and Mattel figures. And finally, with some Mafex, Hasbro Marvel Legends, and SH Figure Arts action figures. So overall, this is a very nice all-purpose diorama. It's big, it's spacious. I'd say maybe it's a little bit too big. My only complaints would be, I wish they would do something differently with the doors. That way, you wouldn't feel like I feel, where you don't even want to open them, don't want to utilize that really cool feature because they'll never look right shut again. Also, it really needed a bunch of big crates or boxes to put onto the racking. That wouldn't have cost them very much, something they damn sure should have included. But as a whole, this is a fantastic diorama for my purposes. It'll be great for Gotham City and my Batman action figures. It'll be great for a wide variety of different scenes. If I were to rate this thing, probably give it a good 7.5 out of 10. This is the kind of diorama that I want. Just a regular city setting. A warehouse can be so good for your villain's lair, or just regular thugs and mobsters to be hiding out at, or doing all kind of deals, etc., etc. This screams Batman and Gotham City. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure diorama and action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.